Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. For today, I thought I'd do a video where I show you second-hand items that I purchased or that I got over the last few months. The thing with secondhand is you don't always buy like a ton of things in one go, at least not for me. I go into secondhand shops quite regularly. I kind of fell in love with them over the last year. I think the UK has a great selection of secondhand shops and I really fell in love with the idea of secondhand shopping, being more sustainable, and the ones that I locally go to the most are Cancer Research and Oxfam. But without further ado, let's jump into the items that I already got. Appropriately for winter, I have two jumpers, and this jumper here is from an app called Vinted, and I use Vinted as well to sell any clothes that I don't wear anymore, and I also like shopping on Vinted quite a lot. I had quite positive experiences so far, and this is from the White Company. So everyone who knows the White Company knows that their clothing can be quite expensive actually, and this jumper, I can't exactly remember how much it was, but I think I got it for like £20, and I checked on the website because they still had it available at the time. It was more than 100, close to £200. So a great bargain. And then the label was taken off, of course, but it was in a great condition. And this is a wool, nylon and alpaca jumper. Super cozy, super warm for winter. Really love it. I wore it so many times already and I think it's such a good find. The second item I have is from Polo Ralph Lauren, and this is a grey jumper, and this is a size L, so would normally not buy myself a large size, but in charity shops you don't always have all of the sizes available, so you have to go with what's there and make it work if you really want to have it. And I tried it on and I actually quite like the jumper to be a little bit oversized, a little bit baggy, and then I just tuck it in the front of my jeans, and I really like the look of it. I don't mind if it's not super tight. And yeah, it's super comfortable, super nice. It wasn't expensive. Again, I can't remember how much it was. And I think charity shops are great if you want to try out new styles. Like for me, for example, it's like I try out the jumper, see if I wear it because it is quite large and see if I like it. And absolute worst case, I just bring it back. Next up, I have a pair of trousers. And what I really like about secondhand shopping is that you discover lots of brands that you have never heard of before. These trousers, for example, are from a Parisian brand called Loft, and it says Mineral Collection. I quite like these trousers because they are really fun. They have these fold-ups at the top. So what you do is you put a belt in and then you just fold these parts down. You don't have to wear a belt, but it just looks a little bit cuter. And then you fold these down and it looks super cute, but personally a bit more of a summer piece for me because they are quite thin. They are linen material, so they are quite thin and cold for winter. So for winter I wore them with some tights underneath, which you wouldn't see, so it still works. Yeah, very glad about these ones, and again, never heard about the brand before, so I would have never discovered it otherwise. And these ones I remember because they were so cheap. They were £8. I mean, £8. That's really not a lot for a small boutique brand. The next item I actually got in a designer secondhand shop. There are not only Oxfam and Cancer Research and these kind of secondhand stores, but there are also some that only have designer clothes, and there is one specifically in Marylebone. I can't remember how the shop was called. I put it down in the info box, but there was one side which only has women clothes and then the other side only has men's clothes. And I probably found one of my most loved pieces that is currently in my wardrobe in this shop, and it's per se not a designer piece. It is from All Saints. All Saints is just a bit more of an expensive high street brand in my opinion. But this blazer originally was around £300 and I think I got it for £80. So still quite expensive, but it was brand new. No one ever wore it. Even the pockets, you know how the pockets on the side, they were still stitched up and it still had the tag and everything, so it was brand new. No one ever wore it, and I think that's such a great find. And it's one of my favorite pieces. I wear it all the time. I wear it in the transitioning times as a jacket. I wear it when I go out in the evening and have a cocktail dress on and just throw it on. It's just such a beautiful jacket, and I really like that it is a wool material, so it is quite warm and cozy, and it is a little bit oversized. So again, they didn't have my size, but I didn't mind it because I think an oversized blazer is just such a cool piece. I personally quite like my clothes to be oversized every now and then. So yeah, really like this purchase, very happy about this find, and as I said, one of my most worn items in my wardrobe since I got it. Next up I have a piece that I actually didn't buy in a secondhand shop, but was given to me by a friend. She was sorting out her wardrobe and she wanted to give everything away, and she said, like, do you want to have a look through it? And I think that's also a great way of swapping clothes with your friends, and that's how I found this piece here, which is a dress from VeryModa. It reminds me a little bit of a kimono, but in a very stylish way. So you kind of wrap it around, and it is a bit more of a summer piece, I would say, because it's quite thin. It's a very thin material, but it looks very nice, and I'm so glad you asked me if I can go through her stuff and pick out anything that I like. And I'm doing the same with hers. Every time I have items that I'm not longer wearing or I want to give away, I always ask her first if she wants to go through them and pick anything. So yeah, great way of kind of being sustainable and just sharing clothes. That's actually the only dress I have is secondhand, but yeah, as I said, really love it. And next up I have 3 shirts. So personally, I really like getting shirts secondhand. Especially cotton shirts are sometimes much nicer when they're already worn in a little bit, because the fabric is just much softer when someone already wore it, which sounds a bit silly, but yeah, I found this one, which is a stripy shirt, and this is from New Look. I got this when I first came to the UK, I think 4 years ago. And I was studying up in Scotland, and they had a small Oxfam, and I was not used to charity shops being so cool. In my head it was always like, charity shops are for grandmas and you don't find any trendy pieces in there or anything that would suit me and my age. And then I walked inside and was like, oh my god, they have really, really cool things in there. So what you need to do sometimes, because I personally at that time I lived in a very small town with lots of students, so of course there was a lot of clothes going around that were from students. So what you need to do is just find areas, for example, in London that you know are more kind of your style. So if you go into more expensive areas like Chelsea, Kensington, Marylebone, you find a bit more luxury items sometimes. If you go to like Hackney or if you go to Shoreditch, you find a bit more trendy pieces or a little bit more edgy pieces. So what I found, it really depends on the areas you go to when you want to go and find the items that fit you. So yeah, this one is just a simple cotton shirt. Really love it. Have it for 4 years already, and I still wear it a lot. And I really like making a knot at the bottom of the shirt and then just wear some simple jeans with it, some golden jewelry, and that's it. And it's both a good piece for summer and winter. Next up, a blouse from, again, a brand I have never heard of before, and I would have never discovered if I wouldn't have gotten it secondhand. And this is from a brand called Equipment Femme. And this is just a very simple white blouse. I just needed one, so I thought comes in very handy. Still great quality. You can't really see that it was worn before. Again, I should have probably ironed it. But yeah, just a very simple plain white blouse that I really like. And the final item I have for you is kind of a mix of like a blouse, t-shirt. It looks a little bit like it's a jeans material in a top. It is cotton as well, so it's very soft and very nice to wear. And it is a button up, so you have these kind of, it looks like a bit like shells, so kind of like shell buttons. And it's from a brand called Jacqueline de Jong, so Y-O-N-G. Never heard about it before. It has these kind of 3/4 sleeves, and then the end of the sleeves are quite puffy and quite open. Same with the bottom. I think the jeans material makes it look a little bit more like streetwear and very casual, but then it is also very girly with these kind of puffy sleeves and like the puffiness at the bottom and this kind of shell buttons that it has. So I really like it. I like wearing it with like dark grey jeans or black jeans or just any black trousers. And it's not something you can tuck in, which is very unusual for me. I'm someone who always tucks in their stuff. So it's a new style. I haven't really tried it before, but I quite like it, and I think it's quite a cool find. So those are all of the pieces I got in the last months, and I'm very happy with them. I really try to change my shopping behavior and go away from this consumerism and buying loads and loads of things all the time. I try to be more conscious about the products I buy, the material it is made out of. I personally just try to not buy as many plastic items anymore. And I just try to give my clothes a longer life in my wardrobe, and then if I don't wear them anymore because they don't fit anymore, they're just not my style. I mean, you can grow out of things. You can change your mind about clothes. You don't always have to love everything forever. Then just ask a friend if they maybe want to go through it, or just worst case, bring it to a charity shop. Or if you can't bring it to a charity shop, or it's underwear, something you can't bring in, then make sure to recycle it properly. So that's it with today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you liked this kind of more slow fashion video and not this super massive haul of I bought 50 items and spent £1,000 at Zara or whatever. Let me know what you think. I find it very difficult, and a very difficult topic as well if you want to work on YouTube and if you want to do fashion content on YouTube, because you always have to get new things and show new items that are just in store right now and do massive hauls. And on one hand, I am interested in fashion and I really like to pick up trends and wear new things, but on the other hand, my consciousness is like stop buying so many things. We're over consuming, we're buying too much, and try to be more sustainable and conscious about the environment and buy secondhand. Try to wear your items longer and not constantly buy new things. I will still do hauls and I will still buy new items, but let's face the reality, what I often do, and what other YouTubers do as well, of course, is they go to Zara, spend £500 to say I've spent a massive amount of money, and after they did the haul, they just send everything back and get all of their money returned. So just because they buy a massive amount of clothes and show you everything doesn't mean they actually keep it. They send it back, so you don't need to buy a ton amount of stuff either. So you can shop, but just do it consciously and maybe just get 2 or 3 instead of 10 items. Okay, I stopped this rant now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you would like to see more of this kind of content. And otherwise, I see you in my next video. Bye!